to the Tom Driver Show. Pat O Melia here. You there? Let me get myself centered up. I just made this coffee. Finally, I got fresh coffee. Don't forget everything on the bottom of the screen. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram. Download the live stream app where we archive all our shows. A lot of programming on it besides ours. It's a good app. Funtown Pier is making its comeback after, gotta be 8 years since the fire, I guess. Something like that. Got walloped pretty hard with Sandy. And then it got burned away during the fire. And now, after hemming and hawing with Seaside Park, they finally got the approvals. They're driving in the piles and all that. So sometime this year, there'll be some sort of a Funtown Pier. And over the next year or two, maybe it's back to what it was, and hope so, because I got a lot of tickets for the Funtown Pier that I can cash in. Seaside Heights. Seaside Park is going after the Desert Palm Inn. They would like to take that through eminent domain if negotiations fail. And what they are doing is using the Seaside Heights procedure. They're going to use that playbook and use eminent domain. Seaside Heights is in the process of doing it on like 13 different properties in the borough, and looks like Seaside Park asked for the playbook, and so they're going to do the same thing with the Desert Palm Inn. Big motels, like a block long. And the Route 35 S-curve. If you're ripping along Route 35 going towards the Acme after you get off 37, they're going to try to flatten that out a bit. Good luck. But I've been driving it so long, it doesn't even affect me anymore. I just drive along. All right. We're going to break the commercial. We'll get back to the Tom Driver Show. We'll be right back. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net. We're back. Pat O Melia here, Tom Driver Show. We had a repeat last week, so we got a fresh show this week. I had a lot going on in the studio last week in the North Bergen one. What a surprise. The County of Ocean is being investigated by the FBI. Not only are they being investigated, it is a criminal investigation. This probably doesn't come into surprise to many. It certainly doesn't surprise me, especially the criminal investigation. The focus of the investigation is the hiring practices of the County of Hudson, in particular from the commissioner board, it appears. This might have something to do with a handwritten memo from one of the commissioners endorsing or at least requesting that a resume for a position as assistant BA be considered. And this is when, if I'm not mistaken, people denied this was going on. Well, guess what? The FBI's got paying some attention. What they're going to look into is the hiring practices, personnel promotions, raises, employment applications, looking for, as it is being reported, kickbacks. What kind of a kickback can there be? If you give somebody a job, does he kick back some of his salary or her salary? Do you have to do some, quid pro quo? This is not surprising. Since I've been covering Tom's River in Ocean County, there's a lot of questionable decisions made by the Ocean County Commissioner Board. And one of the decent things, there's dysfunction there now. There's the clique. There's, we got Jenny Haynes, Quinn, and Bobby Josira against the two long-termers, and Kelly and Joe Ficari. They're not all elbow to elbow anymore, which is good because you can get some honest discussion on ordinance and procedures in Ocean County instead of all of them interlocking the elbows and singing Kumbaya together. prefer that. I would actually prefer it if you got an independent or a Democrat on the commissioner board, and you have an opportunity this election cycle to do that. And it would behoove you not to have everybody, you hate to say it, but not on the same page. Because I don't think that page has been so well for Ocean County. And really what they should do, so we don't have a different hand steering the wheel every year, is get a county exec. Somebody can have a long-range vision for Ocean County. There is no long-range vision in Ocean County because every year it's a different director of the commissioners, and that director's got a different vision and different priorities and different pet projects. You need management. And that's something that is sorely lacking in Ocean County. Now, like I said, there was a handwritten memo. This whole investigation could be connected to that handwritten memo. Because you recall, a lot of these commissioners say, well, we didn't interview anybody. We know nothing about an application or a resume for an assistant BA. And if you recall, George Gilmore recently addressed the commissioner board. Yeah. George Gilmore did not ask one question he didn't already know the answers to. But I'm sure he, as many of us, enjoyed the squirming of the commissioners. You don't fool around with Darth Vader. And there's George Gilmore there, and he knows all the answers. He knows what everybody allegedly has done. He has his both thumbs on the pulse of Ocean County. You're not doing anything in Ocean County, especially on a commissioner board or in the county government, without George Gilmore hearing something about it. This all has to do with they were going to force Carl Block out. I've met Carl Block a couple of times. I think a hello, goodbye. Highly respected. Why would you be chasing this guy out who didn't want to leave, and he's doing a good job as far as everybody can tell? You wanted to kick him out, move somebody up, and then that assistant BA resume and for an ex-cop who supposedly wasn't being considered, but then there's a handwritten memo that got out into the public by one of the commissioners encouraging the other commissioners to review this resume. Basically, the people of Ocean County have been lied to, and that's bad. That you can't believe anything that's coming out of this commissioner board right now. Yeah, again, I like the tension, but you shouldn't be lied to by the people you put in office. They should be honest with the people of Ocean County. And, I wish I would have known George Gilmore was going to be asking questions. I would have been there with a camera. Lights, camera, action. Now, what commissioners should be concerned? Well, I guess everyone with the exception of Bobby Jo Sierra, because she's the newest one. But if you've been a commissioner in the last 5 years, and it's almost like tenure there with the Ocean County Commissioner Board, you got some concerns whether you're retired or not. There are some issues here, and like I said, with the exception of Bobby Jo Sierra, everybody has a concern here. For years, questions to the commissioners, I went before the commissioners over RFPs. And questions would fall on deaf ears because elbows are all interlocked. We're doing it together. We're all in cahoots. Hopefully that is done. But those complaints or questions would fall on deaf ears. And I'll tell you something about the FBI from Hudson County. There were two big investigations. We lost county exec in one of them, and a whole bunch of Hudson County politicians were locked up in 2009. Most were convicted or copped a plea. The FBI always finds what they're looking for, and they will here also, especially if you're going back 5 years. Something is going to happen. I don't recall the FBI ever releasing a press release saying, I don't recall the FBI ever saying something like, we looked into those allegations and there was nothing to it. And I'm going to tell you something. When it comes to a political investigation, when the FBI opens it, they got something there. It's where there's smoke, there's fire, and they can feel the heat. They know what's going on. You can count on their being there. that make sense? There's something going to be found. There's something there, and the FBI is looking at it. Remember, we're focusing on commissioners here. Pretty much the subpoena, it's looking at the commissioner board, but they didn't act alone. There were underlings who carried out the orders, and they're complicit too. If there was some mishandling or kickbacks for employment or promotions or pay raises or what have you, it wasn't just done by those 5 commissioners. Somebody below them acted on it all. And like I said, I covered a few of these investigations in Hudson County, and there's always going to be something. Like I said, there's going to be there. Take it to the bank. All right, we're going to break the commercial. You're watching the Tom River Show. I'll be right back. Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights. Your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments. Carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants. All major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712. Back, Tom's River Show. Pat here, you there? Don't forget everything on the bottom of the screen. Love us, like us, follow us, subscribe to us. All that stuff. Tom's River. Yeah, they don't want any weed retail operations in Tom's River. We don't want that. Well, how much money is Tom's River missing out on? Nobody really answered the question. How much money are we talking about for the communities? There's various licensing fees and percentage of the retail and the wholesale, and there's money to be made here. And the retail weed operators, the stores, are laying out lots of money to the municipalities to open the business there. Recently in Hudson County and New Jersey just approved 16 dispensaries. Hudson County, there were 3 of them, I think, in North Bergen that were just awarded, and I think 5 in Jersey City alone. And in Hoboken. I'm going to actually concentrate on Hoboken here for a minute. They just authorized, I think, 3 of them. And now they're trying to backpedal with where they authorize the dispensaries. These operators for the retail weed locations, they're laying out big money for this. So you got to figure there's some real money here that Tom's River is missing out on. These operators, they're addressing all these municipal concerns, whether from store design to lighting to store partitions inside, signage, CCTV, employment rules the employees have to follow, and background checks. And each one of these things costs money. And these operators are willingly, okay. There's got to be some serious money in this. In Hoboken, I said I would focus on Hoboken. Hoboken, I think, awarded, it's 3 of them. There's one within the Hudson Tavern building that there's some drama attached to, but that'll be worked out. Hoboken asked the retailers, the weed retailers, after they complied with everything and they were authorized to begin operation as soon as the state made the final say. Hoboken asked these weed retail operators if they would you pay for 2 cops as security in these operations? Yes. 2 cops is pretty expensive. We're not talking a couple of security guys here. We're talking armed cops. And you're going to pay for them every day. So that's some serious money. The city of Hoboken asked the retail weed operators if they would make donations to the Affordable Housing Fund. Yes. Considerable bit of money there. Hoboken went a step further. Said, would you make donations to our food pantry? Yes. In just those 3 requests, and I'm sure there's a few other stragglers that are coming, turned out to about $300,000 a year in additional expenses to operate the retail weed operation here. In other words, these operators agreed to $25,000 a month in overhead, above and beyond what they already figured. And they went, yes. What kind of money are we talking about? If these operators could just, yeah, okay, $25,000 a month additional, not a problem. $25,000 a month, that is a lot of joints. That's a lot of dime bags. What kind of money are we talking here? That they could just agree to $25,000 a year in overhead. That's some sizable money. And listen, Hoboken's not a cheap town to live in. It is a very expensive town to live in. They dig into your pocket constantly in Hoboken. You know, it's a little New York City there. Actually, they like to be associated with New York City, but not too closely. They like to be their own separate hamlet there. To give you an idea of how much money Toms River is missing out with their short-sightedness here, Toms River is going to have to deal with all the nuance of retail weed. You know, it's going to be legal to smoke it in Toms River. Yeah, Mayor Fulop in Jersey City. I always compare Jersey City with Toms River. Actually, later in the show, I'm going to have another comparison. Mayor Fulop originally was really anti-retail weed. Now, he didn't want to become New York City's pot dealer. But as time went on, you know, he's seen what was going to be involved. I think Mayor Fulop and his financial people said, Mayor, there's some serious money here, and we're going to have to deal with the nuisance of retail marijuana. We may as well get some of the revenue. So Mayor Fulop agreed to the dispensaries. They agreed to have retail weed sales. I know in my section of the city in the Heights, Ward D, well, they just agreed to 3 weed operations in very close quarters of each other on Central Avenue. And there's going to be cannabis lounges where you can go in and puff away. Mayor Fulop realized we're going to have to deal with it. We may as well get paid for it because people are going to be smoking pot in Jersey City. People are going to be smoking pot in Toms River. You're going to deal with all the nuance of it. You may as well get some money from it. And there is serious money, obviously, if these dispensaries in Hoboken can agree to $25,000 in overhead just to make the municipality happy. I am sure Mayor Fulop in Jersey City, Mayor Sacco in North Bergen, who has already awarded these dispensaries the location, they are sitting back and saying, $300,000, a couple of cops' salaries? We didn't ask for this. For that matter, I had texted the story to each of those mayors. And both of them was like, you know, it's pretty freaking interesting. Yeah. This is money you left on the table. So I'm sure they'll revisit that in North Bergen and Jersey City. I don't know if Toms River can revisit that. But the whole thing is, I look at it, and I was agreeable to getting involved in the retail weed because they had money. You could use money to offset property taxes, school costs, whatever. Why are we looking at retail weed locations any differently than a liquor store or a bar? Like I said, in Hoboken, there's some drama with this one location. Yeah, I'm sure if I went to that one location, if I look left or right, I'm going to see bars and possibly liquor stores in Hoboken. Why do I have a concern with the weeds retailers and I don't have a concern with the bar or the liquor store? That's something Toms River's got to ask themselves also. All right, we're going to break for commercial. We'll be right back.
Jersey City Ford, certified parts and service located at Route 440 and Communipaw Ave, is your #1 source for Ford and Lincoln automotive needs. We use certified Ford Motorcraft products to keep your Ford running in top shape. Motorcraft parts are backed with the Ford warranty, which includes a 2-year unlimited mileage guarantee. Our team will have the right Motorcraft part to ensure the best performance from your Ford or Lincoln. You can order in person at the parts counter or online. Let us help keep your Ford or Lincoln in the best shape at Stevens Jersey City Ford.
We're back, Pat O'Melia here, Toms River Show. I never like how this jacket fits. Actually, I'm waiting for the weather to get better. So I only got a few long sleeves out anymore, and I got a bunch of short sleeves that I can't wear yet because it's too friggin' cold. But somewhere along the line, the warm weather will be here. In Jersey City, we have a Jersey City school budget issue, the same as Toms River has a Toms River school budget issue. The school budget is getting very heavy, and it's consuming your discretionary funds because they keep tagging it onto your property tax. You shouldn't laugh at it, but it's the reality. What is going on in Jersey City right now, we're looking at enacting an income tax in Jersey City, 1%. And that money will be dedicated to the school budget. Here's my problem with this, and it never ends with Jersey City throwing money at the school. We don't get any answers from the Jersey City Board of Education as to the expenses. In Jersey City, right now, the budget is $974 million. It'll be $1 billion next year for sure. The people of Jersey City are about to get walloped with a $2,600 tax increase, $1,600 for this year. And last year, there was a $1,000 school budget increase that Mayor Fulop, with COVID money, was able to cover for the people of Jersey City. He doesn't have that money this year. So you're looking at $2,600. Now the city council is looking at enacting an income tax. What my city council in Jersey City should be looking at is demanding that the Jersey City Board of Education open their books to an independent forensic accounting so we know where the hell the money is going. There are 39 public schools in Jersey City. And simple math, $974 million, that comes out to about $25 million per school each year. That's a lot of education. Or is at $974 million a year times 29,113 kids, that comes out to about $33,500 to educate a kid in Jersey City. That is more than double Toms River. And Toms River's got a fine school system, same as Jersey City has a good school system. In Jersey City, they don't get to vote on their school budget. There's 3 towns in Hudson County that just voted on school budgets: Weehawken, North Bergen, and West New York. That's how it should be in Jersey City. We need, and Toms River needs to find out how the money is being spent. I have no problem icing the teachers out of it. So we're not addressing the teachers. Those are undeniable expenses. I want to know all the other expenses. And that's the questions we need to answer in Jersey City, get answers for. That's the same ones you in Toms River. We don't have any transparency in Jersey City. And, we're trying everything under the sun here. We have a payroll tax in Jersey City. The largest portion of our tax bill, as it is in Toms River, is the school taxes. Get state money. Jersey City Mayor Fulop is trying to do shared services any way he can to hold off tax increases. Mayor Fulop is banging his head against the wall because no matter what he does, the budget has gone up over $300 million in the last 2 years. And Mayor Fulop can't cover all that with shared services. We need answers, and we need change. And I think so does Toms River. Plastic bags. It's coming May the 4th. Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you. I hope it is, because you won't have any plastic bags. Now I'm trying to figure out, because we go to ShopRite and we get food orders, and it's just me and my wife. And, we have a considerable amount of plastic bags when we go food order shopping. Now, I'm not going to walk around with 10 to 15 plastic bags stuffed in my pockets or something as I walk around ShopRite. Yeah, I'm not going to look like some bag person. I'm not going to buy reusable canvas bags because they're only going to get contaminated. Things leak. Yeah, am I supposed to dry clean these friggin' canvas bags? I am not going to do that. I had the foresight months ago to order a few thousand bags from Amazon, heavier plastic bags that I can reuse. My plan, my hack to the plastic bag ban is to keep my bags in my cars. Now, I have a few cars. I have cars I use for the highway. I got cars I use in winter for snow. I have, there's 64 Dodge that and a weekend car that, I play around with. I have too many cars, but they all have a job. I have a van. I'm going to keep plastic bags. I have insulated bags in all my cars. If we're getting milk or ice cream or what have you, I'll put those bags in the insulated bag, zip it up, and it does a good job. Keeps it cold until you get home. And that insulated bag will be a lot of plastic bags. I will go to the checkout as I do with my shopping cart. Just get that, that Wizard of Oz music going. I will go up to the checkout. I will take my groceries. There's a word you don't hear anymore. Groceries. I will put them on the checkout, the conveyor, and it will ride by. And as it's riding by, I'm going to put it back in the cart. I'm going to figure that out. I got to space it so I can do this. Actually, I like to space it. I don't mind getting on a line where there's somebody in front of me that has enough food that I can get everything loaded up on the conveyor. My cart's empty. This way I can go around and I can bag it because I know where this stuff's going. Because a lot of times we're buying stuff for the studio also. You can get anything at ShopRite. There's business supplies, you can get them there. So I know where all this stuff is going. So I'm going to take it out of the cart, put it on the conveyor, and as I'm checking out, I'm going to put it all back in the cart. Then I'm going to take my cart, again, Wizard of Oz music. I get out to the car, and then I will bag it there. I will bag it in the trunk or the hatchback or the back of the van, whatever I'm driving that day, and I'll bag it there. And we'll go home. We'll bring the bags up, and on my way back downstairs, I'll have all the bags again and throw them in the back of the car for next use. Now, I do have those Amazon bags that are heavier. Really, if you got any kind of weight, you got to double bag these things. What I don't understand with this plastic bag ban is why paper bags are involved in this. Why can't I have a paper bag at the supermarket? I can understand some of the rationale with the plastic bags. What was the problem with the paper? It's biodegradable. You can burn it. You can reuse it. You can recycle it. We're not hurting the forest because those trees were planted to become paper bags. We've been doing that for years. There are exceptions all over the place for the paper bags, for the plastic bags, except at the supermarkets. There's no exceptions. Yeah, there's food delivery services, food pantries, restaurants, all sorts of exceptions, except at the supermarket. The next time you're bagging groceries at the supermarket, I want you to take notice of everything that's wrapped in plastic that you're putting in that plastic bag. From soda to frozen foods to meat to plastic jars of whatever, from jelly to peanut butter to tomato sauce, whatever, gravy. Your milk, plastic. Your coffee made for your coffee, plastic. Everything's in plastic. Gatorade, everything's in plastic. But I'm banning the plastic bags. All we're doing with this warm, fuzzy law is inconveniencing you, the consumers. Simple as that. All right, I'm out of show. You be good. You be safe. I'll talk to you next week. Good night.